Hey, how's it going? You are here for another episode of Heavy Art Talk. It's my pleasure to have Moribund Art on the show. A little bit about him. He's been, doing a ton of really cool illustrations in the metal scene as of late. He's worked with bands like Sanguisugabogg, Undeath, 10 to the Chest, Inoculation, and a ton more. And he's also somebody who, I message with him all the time. So it's really cool to talk with him in person, or at least virtually. But yeah, without further ado, let me go ahead and welcome to the stage. What's up, dude?
What up, my man? How's it going?
It's going good. It's kind of crazy talking to you because we do message quite a bit, just talking about art and, sharing whatever we're working on. It's kind of surreal in a way.
It is. It's crazy, like how it like instant shit brings people together.
For sure. But besides the car troubles, you were telling me how have things been lately?
Been good. Everything else has been pretty damn awesome, but
yeah. Do you find yourself having a little more free time?
Oh yeah, for sure. The part-time thing's been a huge help. Being able to knock stuff out and not stress about like rushing it and whatnot.
Yeah. What was your commute like when when you do have to go in?
What do you mean?
So like when you do have to go to like your job outside of art, like do you have a long commute or not really?
Oh no, it's only about 10 minutes.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's not super far.
Sweet. And just for the camera, so I'm drinking just a Miller Lite on this Wednesday afternoon. Well, actually more like evening, but what about you? So you said you had like a local beer?
Yeah, the Guardian Brewery Neon Viking. I'm not a beer person. I don't know what the hell it is, but I love it. It tastes good. It's like Monster. I don't know.
Oh, is it pretty like sweet, kind of like sour maybe?
It's sour, yeah.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah,
those are good.
That's like my elixir right there. I get some health back drinking that damn thing.
So what part of Indiana are you in?
I'm in Muncie, so like central.
You pretty much grow up around there, or you travel around?
I came out from the earth here. That's where I've been.
Is it kind of like country living at all, or like is it like a big city? I don't know anything about Muncie, man.
So you got two parts. You got it's like that Lion King scene where he's like that area over there. That's that. So like you've got like the south side is like, oh, that's kind of the rough end. You got you get your cornfields down there, but then you get your meth down there too.
Okay.
And there's like a road that just separates Muncie, and it's like on the other side. It's like you can leave your car unlocked, kind of stuff. Like we have a campus, so there's a lot of college kids. I live on that end of town, so
nice.
It's pretty. I live pretty close to a lot of things, actually.
Like, so when like a show comes into town, where are you traveling to see it primarily?
I go to Indy most of the time. There's a venue called Black Circle down there. It's about 45 minutes away. But
that's not bad.
They've been playing a lot of good shows lately.
What was the last show you went to?
It was some of like my friends' bands. It was Hammer, which I don't know. We might get into them a little bit. Iron Sight, Master Hunter, Poison Breath. They're all from Indiana.
Okay,
that was the last show I've been to, but it was at Black Circle.
Nice. Yeah, I'm kind of like right outside of Atlanta, so well, I'm technically in the perimeter of Atlanta, but Atlanta's kind of like Chicago in the sense that there's like a large metro area. So like people always say they're from Atlanta, but it's like there's like all these tiny little pockets. But yeah, shows come here all the time.
I feel like that'd be a hot spot.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's convenient for European bands flying in, because they usually fly into Atlanta because it's the biggest airport.
Yeah.
And then, a lot of the bands, they just do that like Florida all the way up to, Massachusetts. And then that's pretty much the tour. But all the West Coast bands you like never really see here unless they're gotten to a certain status and can like afford the trip. But a lot of underground bands, they just do, kind of like, the West Coast, up California, Washington,
Yeah.
So like let's talk a little bit about art in a sense. So like when did you first start drawing, or like do you have any like early memories of that?
Yeah, I've been drawing since I was like a baby, damn near. Like I remember drawing in kindergarten and stuff all the time.
Yeah.
I was really big into Godzilla stuff like that, like dinosaurs, usual kid stuff. But
Yeah.
I'd always try to. There was a specific Godzilla picture I remember. I'd always try to draw it. He's like climbing up a building, and like I've got him somewhere, but there's like it's a whole sketchbook, and each time you turn the page, it's like a slightly different version of that picture.
Yeah, it's almost like the moving pictures, like you just have like a little bit of a flip book. Yeah,
the flip
flip
books,
book.
Yeah. Hell, that, and then like I try to draw Yu-Gi-Oh characters and shit.
Yeah.
Some pretty cursed Yu-Gi-Oh pictures.
So I think you're just a little younger than me, right? So I'm 32. How old are you?
Yeah, I'm 27.
27. Yeah, so like that makes sense too, because like for right at my age group, it was Pokemon, Digimon, then Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh was like 4th grade, so for you it was probably like even younger,
Yeah, I really like Digimon. I feel like it got a lot of shade.
The creature designs were pretty cool, man.
They're cool. Yeah. What the hell was it? Garurumon. He's like the giant wolf. I always thought he was cool.
Yeah, he kind of had like a punk aesthetic to him, dude. They just went so weird, like the evolutions. It's like Pokemon. Yeah. It's like, oh, that kind of makes sense. But then it's like there was like a meme I was looking at the other day where it was like had like a hamster, and then the next evolution was like a toaster. It was just like that's Digimon's like evolution
like
logic.
Have some like bipedal human looking thing. Fucking
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then when did art become something that you were taking more seriously then? Like when you were getting a little older?
It just was something, I don't know, like I had a lot of like anxiety and shit growing up, like in school. So I don't like I'd just sit there and draw. Like I didn't pay any attention. And so like that was just how I like got through the day. I just tried to draw shit, and I've just always done that. And then once I got out of school and stuff, it was something, if I had time, I'd mess around with, but I guess it never really was a huge focus until lately.
Yeah, it was just kind of like you did it a lot, and it was almost like a unconscious thing. Because like I was the same way when I was like in school, just kind of like it's all in like the little margins, of the ruled paper. It would always be some kind of doodle, Yeah,
I would like. So I'm a big video game nerd.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. I'd always try to draw my own little like concepts, like characters and shit, like screenshots of like a fake game. So like I don't know. Maybe that's what. I just did that a lot.
Yeah. What were some of like the early games that you played that really got you into that?
Resident Evil was a huge one. I'm a big RE fan. Devil May Cry, the Silent Hill games. What else?
Were you playing those even when you were like really young?
Yeah, I remember because like I was a chicken shit when I was little too. So my cousin, we rented Resident Evil 4 for GameCube, and I remember like I was young enough I like couldn't play it, but I liked watching him play it. And he would like be doing shit, and I'd be like, "Oh Jesus fucking Christ," scared of it and shit. I think that's what intrigued me, because then once I got older, I was like, "All right, I can't be like scared of that shit. I gotta go play that."
Yeah,
that's
I totally know what you mean.
Things ever. But that what else did I play? Rampage, the one where you're like the giant, like do things just smashing buildings. There's a lot of shit. Yeah.
Do you ever play? I had a PS2. I didn't have a GameCube.
I had a PS2. I still have my childhood PS2 somewhere.
This was like a really good game at the time, man. But it was called Hulk Ultimate Destruction. Did you ever play that? it was like open world, and you were Hulk, and like it was just like Grand Theft
like
Auto, where it's like cops can go after you and stuff, but you're just smashing shit. It was really fun.
Huh. I remember there was a few Spider-Man games like that. You just like
Yes,
hero 'em and stuff, and
it was like that same era exactly.
yeah. Man,
Dude,
those are
yeah,
good times. Good ass times. I miss them.
yeah. Oh man, for sure. What about like getting into heavier music? What was that journey like?
So I'd always kind of had a hand in listening to heavier stuff. I never quite like really got into it. Um, like in school, I was into like a lot of older. I guess you call it like dad rock, like Danzig. Uh,
If that's dad rock,
I
man, then
not necessarily, you know what I mean. Like it's just like that era. I was into.
it's nothing too extreme, basically.
Yeah, nothing extreme. There you go. Nothing really extreme. And then I didn't really start getting into that more often until like later high school. Like really going into the trenches with the extreme stuff.
Yeah.
That started with like vaguely like Morbid Angel, a little bit of Cannibal Corpse kind of stuff. Fucking for the longest time, I didn't realize that Corpse Grinder was like not the original person.
Yeah.
I was like, I'd be listening to the old ones, I'm like, yeah, dude, this Corpse Grinder dude, he's pretty sick. Fucking Chris Barnes, I didn't even know.
That could, but I mean, like, Corpse Grinder is definitely a more accessible vocalist. Like, I got into Corpse Grinder before I got into Chris Barnes stuff. Now it's like it's just what vibe do I want? But I mean, Cannibal Corpse, man, those guys are just like they're work dogs. You know what I mean? Like they're on the road all the time. Like they're just always going.
Yeah, and like they don't put anything bad out.
No.
That's like there's nothing that is just kind of like, man, this isn't good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Which doing it for that long, like that's rare. Like you never really see that.
For sure. Do you recall when you were maybe when you first heard extreme metal and then you just like were like, I'm not ready for this? Like, did you ever have that kind of feeling?
I remember in like shit. I think honestly the intro into like harder or just kind of like, more metallic stuff was fucking Guitar Hero.
Yeah, that is for
That was,
a lot of people of this generation, man.
Yeah, I found a lot on there, and I forget what it was. They had like, I forget, it was some heavier song. I was like, kind of like caught my attention, and I started deep diving. And then I was like, dude, this is just people hitting shit and fucking snorting sounds, dude. This is stupid. And like here I am now. I just love it. Can't get enough of it.
Yeah. There's always a turning point, man.
Yeah. I feel like Morbid Angel was like one of the first ones I was like, okay, I dig this.
Dude, when I first heard God of Emptiness, that like scared the shit out of me. I mean, I heard it when I was like, 13 or something, and that song still is like pretty
It's
damn
so
like
good.
I mean, it's like it's one of their best songs for sure, but like if you just try to listen to it with like a beginner's mind, like he really does sound like a demon, man.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like the vibe of the song, dude.
Yeah, that's what one of like their songs are all really just just dark. I don't know. That's what I love about it. I like that. Fall from Grace was the first song I heard from them.
Nice.
That was something about that caught my interest, and then
when their covers, like their album covers. I mean, Altars of Madness, dude. You never forget that album cover.
Yeah,
best album cover, man.
I've always wondered because, like, if you go on Spotify, they've got like an alternate one.
Yeah, that was for the. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. I know sometimes there's like, I don't know, like legal problems or whatnot, and like maybe that's. I didn't know why they did that, but I know
earaches involved, so there's got to be something.
Yeah,
I'll just leave it at that. Not many people have had an amicable relationship with them over the years. But yeah, the alternate artwork they did on they call it the full dynamic range editions with the reissues. So there's a CD and a vinyl copy. I mean, I don't even know if they really sound that much better, but they just basically repackaged everything. And like, I'm a big like physical media guy, specifically CDs. So like, I have some of
Yeah.
those earache reissues, and they're not the best quality packaging wise.
Yeah, that blows. I've got a little bit of like physical stuff. I don't. It's mainly just to have because it's cool. I don't ever like actually listen to it. I've always just phone or had an MP3 player or something.
Yeah, I get
So
it.
I'm used to dog shit recordings. You can't stop me.
I mean, like, I'm not a big audiophile either. I just get it. It's a collector thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, like, what do you collect things, or you just have like a assortment of like a bunch of different stuff?
So when I went through my Danzig worship phase, I got like I went ham. I've got like the Sam Hain stuff. I've got well I sold some of it. I had an original pressing of Initium on vinyl. That's like one of my all time favorite records. And then I've got Sam Hain did a box set. It's got a VHS. It's got
I've heard about this.
the CDs. I've got it, but it's missing the little comic that came with it, which kind of blows. But
That's cool.
I've got. There's actually. Do you, I'm probably going to butcher his name. Is it Simon Bisley? He's an artist. Yeah. I've got. They did two of them because he
did
does
that live album, right? He did that cover for a live album, right?
Yeah, but they did these like limited books. It's just his artwork for the different songs, and it covers like Misfits era all the way through Danzig for like different songs. So like Earth AD's got this like post-apocalyptic thing that it looks really sick.
Dude, Simon Bisley's so good. He's awesome.
Yeah, I've not see that's one thing I haven't really deep dived into different artists. Whatnot, and like seeing like there's stuff like if that I like from them, like was it Frazetta, like Death Dealer, all that stuff.
Oh yeah,
but like I need to get in on that. Like actually,
I mean, but realistically, because like me and you are similar in the fact that we chose quote unquote the self-taught artist journey, the path, right? It doesn't mean that we can't change our route, but like development years of figuring out our style were done somewhat in a silo. That being said, we live in the internet age. You see shit, right?
Yeah.
So like, if I look back to when I was 27 and I've always fluctuated between interest in music and visual art. And basically for the last like 5 or 6 years, it's been all about visual art. But basically, if I think back to when I was 27, I wasn't as exposed to a lot of stuff I am now. So like, part of it's just like, part of it is age, frankly. You know what I mean? Or like just your own journey. So
I know here lately, the past few years, especially since I've been doing the art stuff, like it's really like I'm finding stuff like I wish I would have known about, back then. So
you got plenty more years to enjoy it, though, man.
I'm excited. I'm ready to find more. See what's out there.
Yeah.
There's your
plug. Keep watching the show.
Yeah.
For the audience and for you. No, I'm just effing around.
No.
So you got into heavy music then. When we were talking, so did you get into hardcore music around the same time as metal? Like, what was that experience like?
There was like a hint of it. Like I didn't certainly deep dive into like metal, but I'd listen to it. I kept tabs on it. But then, not too long after that, one of my good friends, he started going to hardcore shows like locally, and he started like bringing me with him and shit. And yeah, that exposed me to all that. And yeah, that was when it really started clicking with me. And just like it originally started out more like hardcore, but then the wave of death metal started coming out.
Right.
I was like, hell yeah, this is the stuff. This is what I've been wanting to hear.
Yeah.
So.
Oh man, I there's an energy to hardcore shows though that you don't often get with metal shows. That's the thing, because I do prefer metal music by a landslide, but like the live experience of being at a hardcore show, like I really enjoy that.
Yeah, being there and feeling that's That's it. But again, though, I still love everything else. It's just, yeah. I think that's what really made me like, holy shit, this is awesome. Like, just the energy, people beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah. Best people watching out there, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I went, one of the best like live shows I've seen recently was, it was Drain,
I haven't
Drug
seen
Church, and Gel. Dude, if you ever get a chance to see Drain live, man,
I
it's
want
so
to.
much fun. So much fun. It's like beach balls everywhere and shit. Dude, like climbed up on the rafters of the masquerade and was like diving off. Like, I mean, it was like legitimately dangerous. So like me and my
That's
wife,
the
like
way it
we
should
stuck
be,
back.
though.
Yeah, man. Oh, I mean, you know, it's like I like the energy. I don't want anybody to legitimately get hurt, and like legit fighting I can't stand. But like
Yeah.
the fact that like when people know what they're doing, in the sense of like it's almost like they consented to like, yes, I'm going to be in the area where they're swinging.
Yeah.
Then it's fine. It's when people are not educated on the norms that I kind of feel bad for them.
Yeah, that's true. That's I haven't really seen anything like that personally.
It doesn't really happen that often.
Yeah, I will say they're probably the worst thing I've seen at a show, and I know Devin's brought it up before in like different interviews, but there was a bog show. It was when they were with Acacia Strain.
Yep.
It was in Ohio, and at some point during their set, this dude, the stage wasn't that high off the ground, and this dude just fucking kicked a guy in the face. Out cold, face like purple, like blood, like he was out. Yeah, like that. I'm pretty sure they stopped their set early over that because like yeah, they had to get someone to look at him and shit. It was pretty bad. But
dude, I've slightly changing the topic from violence at shows, but man, but like. I mean, you know how it is, man. And the like true metalheads, whatever, they don't in general like Sanguisugabogg, and I just say f them, right? Because like I'm like a Sanguisugabogg defender, man. Like I love that band a shit ton, and like obviously like you are like close with them and you've done a lot of designs, but like they are one of my favorite bands. A lot of it because I'm a drummer and Cody's drumming is like so tasty.
That guy's he's
insane. I love his playing.
He is not human.
He's got such a good pocket, man.
Because he's originally a guitarist.
Yeah,
like that's his thing. So he touches it and just assimilates it, and fucking you get some crazy side project. Yeah, they're insane.
But yeah, I'm a very big fan. I've seen them just about every time, which is a lot because they're always on tour. But like I saw them. The first time I saw them was right before COVID hit, like literally the week before. It was their first like U.S. tour. I think it was their first U.S. tour, but yeah, I saw them at this place called 529, and I've seen them just like consistently ever since. But like when they're in like a smaller venue and like it's really intimate, dude. Especially like Devin's done some crazy shit. Like he did something with a lime. And like snorting salt or something, dude. Like the guy's a madman, but just want to say, really, really big fan.
Yeah, I don't know. My thing is like, if I like the people in the band, like if I like them and know them, my love for the band's even further, and like seeing the grind and shit people do. Yeah, that's that's the local stuff here. Like I don't know, like those bands. I feel more like stoked whenever they're coming through just because it's like that's the homie up there. They're doing their thing.
Right.
I don't know. But
what was the first band that you worked with then?
So the first I gotta back up. So I remember the first time I got commissioned for something. The project never became anything, but I have some friends. They were trying to start a project. The name was Covered in Shit. Okay. It was Killdozer first. I loved the idea of Killdozer. So
why didn't they keep that? Was it already taken?
No, I don't. They switched it to Covered in Shit, and then I was like, all right, like that's still cool, I guess. And then they just didn't do it. but I did two. They paid me to do two. I did one that was Warhammer inspired.
Okay,
They're big Warhammer fans. And then the second one was like this Baphomet chick with like two hellhounds.
nice.
I don't. They have the like. I didn't know shit at that point. I was like, oh, I'll just draw this and give it to you. Anything about like
just give them the physical.
It. Yeah. I was like, oh, here you go. Looking back, they got that. They stole that shit. I didn't even. But yeah, so that I did that, and then the real like first successful one that I can remember is my friend's One Body Six Graves. They're from Indianapolis. The I think it's on the thing we're going to go over. It's the like succubus chick like pulling.
Oh yeah.
The colorful one. That they bought that from me to use for their EP, and I think that was the very like first. Because that was because I worked third shift for a long time, and I'd be fucking bored. I'd be up at like 3 a.m. What else is there to do? So I'd draw, and so like that's how I have some like pretty cool ones from that. Those are like from the heart ones,
right?
We'll get into those, but
what year was that roughly for that first succubus, the colorful one that we're going to show later?
I think it was 2019.
So like, yeah, I mean, all this stuff is in the great scheme of things pretty recent for you.
Yeah, very recent. Most of it, I've had so much like I never posted, just kind of had.
Yeah.
But what the friends that like commissioned me, they like caught wind of it. They were like, "What the fuck's that?" And they're like, "Oh shit, dude, you like draw stuff?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess." And then, but then, which Tend to the Chest, which we'll get into, that Trey from that band, he hung around too, and then he seen my shit, and then that's kind of how that started.
So is that an Indiana band?
They're in Colorado now. They all moved out to Colorado.
Okay, it's a big leap, man.
Yeah, there for a while the Indiana scene kind of died out.
Yeah,
I remember there for a while like there just wasn't nothing going on. And then Trey was like one of the people that kind of kept it going, and then he went to Colorado. And so I mean, he's got Mouth for War and Tend to the Chest.
Okay.
And like they're both doing really well since they moved out there. So
I was surprised, man. I hadn't heard of Tend to the Chest before. Me and you were talking about him. I listened to him earlier today, and like, not that it means like a shit ton, but like I was surprised how many Spotify listeners they have. They have like 21,000 a month, which
they like
that's pretty good for an underground.
It's funny band. Because Tend to the Chest was like a joke band. It was literally like
they got a song called Hash Driveway, you know. So
well, the original, it's like lips around the barrel, and then I don't remember the other song, but it was like a slop together, you know, like the gore collage pictures.
Yeah.
It was like that, a really quick logo, and he like recorded it and just like had it. And then he dropped it, and then it just took off.
Yeah.
So
the band, it kind of reminds me of the story of that band, Peeling Flesh. They kind of have something similar where it was like slightly like jokey. I was like watching their interview on Garza podcast.
Yeah.
Shout out Garza podcast. That. I watch that every week. I think Chris Garza's doing a really good job with that show.
Oh yeah. Some good. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no. But yeah, dude, Tend to the Chest, man. They're really freaking heavy, man. Like I was pretty impressed. They were good.
There's
a little deathcore, but it's mostly slammy.
Yeah, I love it. Out of their projects, that's like Mouth for War is like, I don't know, because like with that band, I watched it like when they were playing around here, and like, well, the band used to be, well, I don't know, there was another band called Bruise that's basically the same members from around here, and then when they moved to Colorado, Mouth for War became the band. But yeah, like that's just, they've been around. I've been watching them grow, so it's like that's like the To the Heart band. But then Tend to the Chest hits all my little caveman notes that I love. It's just ignorant, and I love it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. So like, let's see. looking at my questions here. So talking a little bit about art and stuff then, like if you were to kind of place maybe like your major influences, they could be artists or they could be like things you were exposed to, like video games, stuff like that. Like where do you think some of your style came from?
Oh, I've thought about that, and I think it's mainly video games.
Yeah.
Like, because like Dark Souls, I played the shit out of Dark Souls, and I've noticed a lot of like, there's a few night kind of like dark fantasy pieces I've done, and it's just I don't know, I just feel like it's coming straight from that range, and then just like yeah, I'd say video games a little bit, which that wasn't until recently, but I'm gonna butcher his name, but the Berserk fella.
Yeah, Mira.
Miura, yes.
Yeah, Kentaro Mira. I'm actually looking at it because I use it as my my mic lifter, like my mic stand. So I like have it right here.
Yeah, that well, because the one, the big, it's that big one, the Necro Beast one that's like later.
Yes,
Or we'll
I
talk
could
about-
definitely see his influence now that we were talking about it.
Well, that I before like I didn't really. So I got into Berserk from Dark Souls. I'm like I said, Dark Souls. There's a period of time where like that was my shit. I'd get home from school, it's Dark Souls all night. But Berserk's a heavy influence on that, and I was like, oh shit, like I gotta see what this Berserk shit's about.
Yeah.
But I had drawn that picture before getting into Berserk. So, but people were like, dude, that looks a lot like Berserk. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, what is it? And I looked at it, I was like, holy shit. Like, this is just amazing.
Yeah.
And then
it is so good.
The fact that like one dude did that, like these elaborate panels, like yeah.
Well,
So,
and wrote it and wrote the story.
Yeah, wrote it, did all. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's one that really just baffles me. I don't know how. I mean, I guess though, from what I understand, like that's what he did. That was his life, was just making that manga. So
yeah, it's his life project.
Yeah, which it definitely shows. But I started kind of going into like looking at his stuff and like trying to see kind of like how he renders things and
yeah,
So later on, I started kind of taking influence from him. But
well, you got to read some Junji Ito, dude.
That's another one people point out a lot.
You'd love it if you like Berserk. I mean, they're very different, but like there's enough overlap that I think you would dig it.
Well, I like body horror stuff a lot, and like that's like what that is. So
oh yeah, man.
Well, another one too. I almost forgot. There's a comic book called The Darkness.
I haven't heard of that.
Give me a second. I'll go grab it. I found the first issue signed for like $10 at a comic shop. Right here.
Oh, that's cool.
That like a lot of like the like kind of demon head stuff I make. I feel like I take a lot of that like inspiration from this.
Who's the artist on that? It looks like one of the early Image guys. Blanking on the name. Mark Sylvestre? Is it Mark Sylvestre?
Yep. Yeah. He's on the certificate back here.
Yeah, dude. Yep. He's one of the best.
Yeah, that I love that. Like I love the storyline for this too. They made a video game. Of course, that's how I found it. The video game. But the video game caught my attention. It's like a revenge story that is really cool.
Nice.
I checked into that, and yeah, it just gets deeper.
So, like, when you're not creating art and you just have some like downtime, is video games like your main like source of leisure?
That's the crazy thing. I haven't played a video game in like a year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just for the longest time that's what I did. Anymore, it's like kind of Jesus. Now, I'm not doing the full-time thing because it used to be I would work all day, go to the gym, come home, draw for like whatever little bit of time I had. Try to, talk to my girlfriend, be there for my relationship and everything. Yeah, it was just not working. But
it's difficult.
Yeah. But now the part-time thing, like yeah, like I was working on something earlier today, and I was just sitting there like, this is awesome. Like I don't have to, don't have that looming dread of like, oh shit, well I got to think about doing this. So I might try to get back into playing video games again. I don't know. It kind of anymore to me just feels like a waste of time, sadly.
Yeah, it's hard for me to fully escape and immerse myself in a video game. I'm honestly jealous for people who can, because it's like I've almost lost that muscle to like be able to like really immerse myself in a game. I even have trouble doing books, so it's like I just feel like I'm always just thinking, oh, I could be drawing right now. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's literally. I would be at work and I'm just like doing my thing, and I'm like, I could literally be drawing right, and like ideas would just start coming to me, and I was like,
yeah,
well, like I would love to do that. I just don't have time. So
I feel you, but things are looking good now.
yeah, I got this backlog, so I'm about to start cranking them out.
That's another thing, man. You're very quick, you know, like I feel like compared to a lot of artists, I don't know if I'd say slow, but I'm not, I would not describe myself as like a very prolific and fast artist compared to other people.
I don't feel like I'm fast. I don't
you
know.
literally showed me that Godzilla piece that was like maybe 20% done, and you finished it in like a day.
I don't know, man. Like I start freaking out. Like I get anxious about it. I'm like, oh God, here we go. And yeah, but then like it ends up being fine anyway. But
yeah, I like how you finished that one out, dude. With the blast, like with the logo, you did a good job for Enterprise Earth. They should be happy with that.
yeah, I did another thing for them
A while ago, right? Because I was looking through your IG.
Yeah, been a little bit ago. Yeah, they're Dakota. He's actually from Indiana. I found.
Okay.
But,
Sure, that was really loud.
just a nuke going off.
Yeah. Second Miller Lite. We're keeping it loose today, man. I like to change the vibe with these podcasts depending on the guest.
Just get shit faced drunk on the.
Nah, man. I can keep my composure pretty well. What was I gonna say? Isn't Enterprise Earth? Aren't they on tour with Sanguisugabogg in Europe right now with Suffocation?
Yes, sir.
Have you seen Suffo live?
No. What sucks? They came through not too long ago. The Fort Wayne. It's about an hour and a half north.
Yeah.
They played. I can't. There was some reason I couldn't go to it. Probably work, but yeah,
they're great. Even with Ricky, the new vocalist, they're still amazing.
Oh yeah,
he's very good.
Some of the live sets. Yeah, that's another one. Suffocation.
Great band. Let's see. So, what do you enjoy most about working with bands?
I just like meeting people.
Yeah,
like, I've kind of developed some like genuine friendships with people through that. Like, yeah, I just seeing someone do their like dream, like watching it come to fruition. That's, I don't know. I really enjoy that part of it.
It's pretty cool too, like seeing people like wearing your shirts and stuff. You know?
Yeah, I try not to. I don't know. I don't want to come off as that person that's like, yeah, dude, you see that shirt right there? I fucking drew that, buddy. But there was like, what show was it? Oh, Snuffed on Sight and Stab Wounds came through.
Oh, nice.
Black Circle.
Yeah.
Like, I was sitting there and I was looking around, and there was like a lot of people that had something like that I had made. I was just like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, that part's really cool.
I think that's the thing about like your style too, is like it's kind of like a raw, kind of style, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it marries well with a lot of the up and coming bands right now. So like I don't think it's intentional, you know what I mean? It's just like the way that you create art, it just matches that vibe for a lot of bands. And then it must be like easy to work with too. I mean, there's also like the business part of it. People wouldn't be repeat clients if they didn't enjoy their experience.
Yeah.
So,
See,
cool,
I
man.
try to. I don't. My thing, like work ethic's a huge thing with me.
Yeah.
This was something I got thinking about not too long ago. Like at my job, I would just focus. Like I was putting all my energy into that and like
Right.
being productive there, and it's like not getting me anywhere, you know. And it's like now, like with the art, I'm able to take that and funnel it into this, and it's like okay, it's actually getting somewhere. But that's stuff like art, like almost to a fault. Like that's my priority. Like I get that. Like that's my focus. You know, I do a lot of like checking in with the bands too, like sketching, be like, hey, you like this? You know,
hey.
hey. I feel like I get annoying with it. I'll like draw a line. I'm like, you like that?
Another one. It's another
You know,
picture.
there's a line. You like that line right there? So, okay.
Actually, no, I don't like that one. Oh, erase. Here you go.
Right. Like, I guess I'll just rip it in half, dude. Damn. But
Oh, that's
yeah,
funny.
dude, it's just like, well, I mean, it goes back to just meeting people, but it's like there's, which I don't really know how it works. I don't know if it's just like through social media, but like I've had people like recognize me, which I thought was kind of weird because I don't really show my face much on the art page. But like people
You've
would
been
be
doing
like,
more recently, but
yeah,
up
more,
until
yeah,
like probably the last 6 months, no.
yeah. Like there's one time someone like you're Moribund. I was like, how the fuck do you know that, buddy? Back up, pal. But now that part's kind of cool too, I guess. Yeah, it's something it was so unexpected.
yeah.
It just kind of happened. Um, but I'm like I'm grateful as hell for it. Thankful for all of it.
Yeah.
It's yeah,
Just having fun with it, man.
yeah. That's having fun. Literally doing like it's. I always worried too. People would tell me like, you know, once you start drawing, it becomes like a job, or you're going to start hating it. I at least at this point, I don't have that. Like that's what I look forward to doing all day. Is like, all right, I got this idea. I want to do this. Let's get that out.
I think it's if you're drawing stuff that you don't like, that's when it becomes a job.
Yeah,
And
I
right
could see
now, like
that.
for the most part, you're probably drawing stuff you like, right?
There's been a few that have been kind of like that. Like I've kind of just been like, all right, like so, and that which I'm really it's really good. A lot of the bands like no one's really been like, all right, I want exactly this with this with this. It's like they're pretty much let me do whatever, which is
Yeah.
cool. Like they'll give me like a like you know this what was the most recent one? We need rats disemboweling somebody. All right, say no more. Let me do.
Gotcha.
Say no more. I got you.
Oh man. All right, so let's talk about this because we were chatting about this just over Messenger. So like I know you've been like watching the show some, and some of the episodes are more geared towards like art education, and then some of them are more hangouts, and it just kind of depends on the guest, right? Whatever the vibe is. So like some of the things that other artists have like talked about, they've kind of like seeped into your brain a little bit. The thing I had for you is like, how do you? And we don't have to solve this. We're just talking. How do you like? Yeah. How do you keep your style yet still keep learning from other artists? Like, how do you find that balance? Because you don't want to like all of a sudden start looking like another artist, which I don't think you really have much of risk for. But like, the more you learn from other people, the more you're going to adopt some of their techniques. So I was just kind of like, it's kind of like a conversation for both of us because I think about these things too.
I worry about that a lot. Like, I really don't want to like steal someone's, you know, what they do or what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really don't know. Like, it's, I really tried thinking about, I'm looking at a piece down here right now.
Well, I mean, sometimes with like the fundamentals of art, like shape, form, space, negative space, line, like some of those things you can learn from a lot of people and then distill it down to what you're doing. It's when you really are like deliberately copying people, I think maybe is the problem.
The negative space thing, that was something I just like. That's the thing I don't like. It's basically an empty, like you said, raw. I've just been doing what my brain wants me to do, but now
Right.
like learn stuff. But like negative space, that was something I never thought of. And like someone, I forget, some guy at work, he was like, "Yeah, I see your art you post and stuff, but it's like it just looks like a blob of like stuff." And he was like, "There's no like empty spaces anywhere," and I was like, he kind of got a point.
Oh, you're probably like F you, and then later you're like, hey, you got a point.
Hold on a minute, he's got a point.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like that's just well, and then too, I think I was talking to you about like Brad Moore he was talking about like, you lay it out and then go into the details.
Yes, you don't render at first. Yeah,
like that. I'm straight. Right. All right, we're getting this little piece here. Just start branching.
See, I used to draw more like that, man. I really did. It was like a puzzle, and like I'd be like, all right, I've got this little piece fully rendered, but I don't know where I'm going to go with the rest of it. And like I just made too many mistakes. That's why I pivoted.
That might be part of how my style stays. Because I rarely like plan it out. I'll do like a really rough pencil, like the form almost. Like, all right, this is going to be here. This guy's going to be doing this, but then everything else past that is just doing it.
I know that's the tricky thing is because like I like want to like help you out with like some stuff, but I almost worry that I'd be like setting you off at a path that's not you. You know what I mean? Because like we talk quite a bit, and I like see like a piece you're doing. I'm like I have like a suggestion, but it's like it'd be easier for me to explain it like this, and like demonstrate, but I don't know. You have a very signature style and you don't want to lose that. That's the big point, but always learning is fun and it keeps you from growing stagnant too.
Yeah, that's something. Yeah, I just want to keep improving. Like there's definitely like, cause I'll look at stuff I've done like last year and like, I pick up, I'm like, okay, yeah, that looks kind of rough. So like I can see improvement.
Right.
Which is awesome, but one thing I've really been like slowing down on is like my line work.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was another thing Brad mentioned. It's like, keeping a constant line. I'd be like near scratching it on there. And having like lines touch where they shouldn't just because
tangents.
Like, yeah. That's another one I've been trying to like clean up a little bit and shady. Well, lighting sources. That's another one too.
Mm-hmm.
I would just be like shading parts because it would make it look cool.
There's always going to be a little bit of element in that, unless you're trying to do something fully realistic. There's always a little bit of leniency on there, but yes, making that decision early is helpful.
Okay, yeah.
Because like if you like, for instance, I really love tattoo art, right? Like I got a lot of it here. They're not thinking about light source all the time. They're just thinking about what shading looks cool. And like that's where a lot of my early inspiration came from was tattoo art. But then, you got Frazetta here. He's always thinking about how to capture something in a dramatic and for the most part realistic sense. So I had a bit of an awkward time trying to marry those two things where I was thinking more like, how do I get realistic, but then also the stylized look I want, And I probably still, always juggling that because I think lighting is hard. I have difficulty with that. I think that's one of the harder fundamentals.
That the Godzilla one I just did, that was one I really tried to like, because like you've got his atomic breath, which is going to shoot off light. I was trying to like stay conscious of, like towards the front of him, I'm not going to ink in this part as much as the back, and that kind of thing. It worked.
So you're thinking about the right things, without sacrificing. It still looks like you.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, I really want to delve into like other mediums too, which is something again I just haven't really had time, but instead just doing strictly ink related work.
Yeah, but I mean, with you doing the digital coloring, it helps out the printing process, right? For
Yeah.
reproduction. That's the thing is like I do like, watercolor and marker and stuff. And yes, I can get like a painterly look, but like that's harder for reproduction if I was trying to, work more with bands and stuff. So,
That was
like if I were to recommend any, I didn't mean to cut you off. I want you to continue, but like markers, I would probably recommend the Copic markers more than watercolor. Personally, I think the learning curve is shorter on them, and just knowing your style, I think you could probably get the look you'd want.
I'll have to play around with that. I've done colored pencils a little bit, but
Yeah, I like those too. What were you about to say though?
I don't remember. Yeah.
What do you think is like a misconception that people maybe have about like artists who create art in the metal scene? Like maybe somebody who's also trying to get their foot in the door, or even just like people in the public. You think there's anything people maybe get wrong about it? Maybe how many hours it takes to create something?
That could, yeah. I do get that a lot. Like that must, how many hours did that take, kind of thing. And I feel like people think it takes a lot longer. I don't know. No one's ever really said much. You know what I mean? Like I've not really picked up on anything that.
Yeah.
I
guess like you can even think of like family members, right? Who are like, "What the hell are you?" Yeah.
Yeah, like my mom seen my shit. She I think word for word was like, "Why the hell? Who the hell even likes that? It's just a bunch of like squiggly lines." I was like, "No, it's not, Mom. It's a fucking zombie. Can't you see it?"
You should put it on the fridge next Thanksgiving, dude. Slap it right on there.
Yeah, I love her. She's so fucking. Because my mom's like, here lately has been like super Christian stuff. So like she supports me, but like she doesn't like what it is. So it's pretty funny.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of metalheads can relate to that, right?
Yeah,
you love your mom, but they don't get it.
Yeah, you don't get it, Mom.
No,
it isn't a phase, Mom. Who I am. Yeah, that's probably a misconception. Like people, I don't know, like maybe about the people in the scene. Everyone's a fucking sweetheart as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, for the most part.
Everyone's like, like shows, for instance, like you go to a show and it's like, people beating the shit out of each other, but it's like mainly friends just having fun.
Right.
But, yeah, it might look scary, but at the end of the day, it's just all fun.
What do you have any like art related pet peeves? So like, let's say you go on Instagram and you see something and you're like, oh fuck that. Is there anything
I'm about to lay down the wall.
Okay, cool. You were just waiting for this question the whole time.
So here lately, and I'm sure I know there's a few people that have seen this shit. So we've got I don't even know what kind of account, but it's an account. You'll see it.
Yeah,
I think I sent one to you.
The AI shit, right?
Yeah, the AI,
sneaky shit. AI shit,
sneaky AI stealing Riddick art and putting a Xerox effect over it. Get the fuck out of here with that. And people, like, what kills me, people fall for it.
Yes.
Like, people in the you'll look at the comments on them, and people are like, this is awesome, like, awesome work. And the person's like, thank you. It's like, I'm sitting here like, you didn't fucking do that, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit grinds my gears. And, like, it'll say sold. So, like, unless they're just doing that to make it look like it did. But, like, if someone genuinely bought that, like, I'd be pissed. As the person, like, I'd be pissed to find out that that's all it was.
It's a giant scam, dude.
Well, there was one recently. My buddy Vomit Tomb, he's an artist in the area or in the scene.
Yeah, I've seen his shit. He's good.
I love that. He's my boy. But we've got like a little group chat, and he like posted one in there. He was like, "This is literally a Mark Riddick piece," and like he went and found the original. The person just took one of Mark's just like graphics and put like 20 Xerox effects over it. So it was like disfigured enough to where you couldn't really tell what it was. And we called the guy out on it and he deleted it. So, but the account's still there. So it's like,
dude, he's got to be the most ripped off artist in the metal scene. I feel bad for the dude. I mean, he's a good friend of mine, but like people just are just like he's the archetype. You know what I mean? And then they just rip off him. It is what it is.
Yeah, I wonder what he thinks. He's just sitting there watching it like, you sons of bitches.
Honestly, he's too busy to even give a shit.
That's good.
He's probably watching this right now. He's probably like, yeah. But I mean, he's aware of it. Like, he's not ignorant to it, but he has a wisdom to him that he just doesn't care about trivial bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's no point in like getting all upset over it. Like, yeah, I just felt like if someone's copying your shit, then you know you
must be doing something right.
Yeah, you're doing something right, or else. Yeah, and I feel like people, or the right people, are smart enough to know, like, okay, that's the person. This is where it started. You know,
potentially.
You know what I mean? So at least I would hope. I'd hope they'd be like, okay, this is the original. This is where it's coming from. Fuck these other people.
Well, yeah, I got a question for you. So you work with a ton of bands, and like, you don't name any names, but like, do you get the sense that some bands like really, really care about like the end result of the art, and then there are some that are like they don't really have? They're just like, yeah, that's good. Like, do you kind of know what I'm saying? Like, or does it seem like everyone is like super like really enthusiastic about like the art and the merch and the t-shirts and stuff? You know?
Yeah, like there's definitely been some that are more like usually it's pretty smooth. Like they say it's good, they look good, they like roll with it. Then there's some that are really particular. It's like, okay, like this, revise this. Okay, what if we this over here, kind of thing, and so.
Yeah, there's always that part of the process for sure.
I think I lost the question there.
Well, I like your answer. It's more like, so in my experience with working with bands, there's like usually one or two people in the band who really care about art and graphics, and then other people like they don't like not like art. They're so focused on playing their guitar that they don't even think about it. Yeah, that's what kind of what I'm getting at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
because like in my world, the art is like as important as the music, but for a lot of these musicians, right, and rightly so, music is much more important than the art, and it's just interesting dealing with different types of people.
I've definitely like there's some members I know are like that with certain bands. Like they're like, okay, that looks cool, send it.
Yeah.
And then, like, so there's some people in the band that are like, okay, like you said, the more like technical art aspect of it.
Right.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I've dealt with that a little bit.
Are you most of the time working with the artists themselves, or do you work with managers and labels sometimes too?
I've not had that. Yeah, it's mainly the bands straight up, or like one of the members will hit me up, and the only label I guess I could say I've worked with is Maggot Stomp. I've worked with Scott a couple times, and that's mainly like after consulting, like, you know, going from the band, then asking him for his, you know, input on like the final product thing. So I know he does a lot of graphic design stuff and whatnot. So
yeah, my friend Jerry Wormwalk, he's pretty close with Scott, and like that they'll talk about stuff all the time. Cool, man. Well, what are the things you want to chat about before we pull up your art? You got any questions for me or anything you wanted to cover in this?
How's that? How's the fungal dragon looking?
It's good. It's good. I got to do the line work in the middle. Here, I'll go grab it.
Yeah, that thing's looking dope.
Thanks, man. Gotta make sure I don't spill beer on this thing.
Hell yeah! So you've gotten further with it.
So yeah,
you showed me it was kind of like the tip of the tail on it.
Yeah.
See, that's what I was talking about with the lighting. Like you can
the shadow on the little
shadow. Yeah, I like the way that's done.
It requires making bold decisions. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing with lighting is like you got to be kind of. I don't know, man. I mean, look, we're not like curing cancer, but like you got to be kind of brave with your decisions because once you put that dark shadow in there, it's not really going out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Unless you get the jelly roll out.
Jelly roll is weak, man. This is what does it for me, dude. This thing. You ever use one of these?
No. What is that?
Dude, it's a Posca white paint pen. I guarantee you this shit works way better than a jelly roll.
Can you go over it with pen?
Yeah. I'll let it dry, but yeah.
Yes, sir.
Dude,
so
fucking $5, buy this shit. I'm telling you.
You'll have to send me the name of that later.
Yeah.
So I can look at it. Because Nightmare, because like I DM'd him a little bit, but I remember in his episode he mentioned using a specific gel pen that you could go back, because jelly roll, you no fucking shot you're going back over to that. Like it's just going to keep messing the tip up. But he suggested one.
Well, that might still be the case. You might mess with your tip a little bit. You're talking about the black pen tip.
Yeah, like
you could with this, but my point is, it's thicker and it's gonna do.
It just fills up better.
Yeah, like it's worth buying and trying.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll have to give that a shot because I like what I'll do. Where do we go here? I'll show you this one. So like here,
that's looking great, man.
Thank you. This was one I was like weirded out about with like lighting effects.
Well, that's the thing. All right, so not to dissect it. You see the white under the arm of the wolf?
Uh-huh.
Do whatever you can to keep that because that's what helps. No. The armpit. You see that white?
Right there?
Yeah. That is what allows that readability. Like that is such an important little pocket of negative space.
Okay.
Like it's looking good because it's supported by those pockets of negative space.
Okay.
Yeah, that's looking sick, dude.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah, what I was getting at here, like I went over with you can kind of see it there.
Mm-hmm.
The jelly roll stuff right there.
Yeah.
Just because like I darkened it way too much. I was like, shit. So I just did like a quick little quick fix there.
That I mean, gouache to me is the best for that.
See, I heard you guys mentioned gouache on the the corpse drawing thing.
So Winsor and Newton, it's like a little paint thing.
Okay.
Whatever brushes you use, I would get a synthetic brush because and a very tiny one for what you're doing, like as tiny as it goes. So I have like it's an 8-0 Princeton brush. I'll send you all this shit after. Like you know, if you're willing to spend $25 in art supplies, I'll get you some shit that will help you out.
Okay, sick.
Yeah, but like that, you just put a little bit of water, so it's a little diluted. That can do good coverage. But honestly, the convenience of this and what you're trying to go for, this is probably your best bet. So you could start with this. You need more, maybe try gouache out.
I'll have to, for sure, give that a go.
But I mean, I get excited about this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like that's the fun thing about this channel is like most people are down to like help other people. So a lot of people have helped me. I like to try to
I've learned seriously the heavy art stuff. Like that's where I get a lot of my info from. Like watching the other episodes that people have been featured on.
Yeah,
like their little tidbits.
Well, I've learned a ton. Anything else on your mind?
What's life, man?
What's life?
Why are we here? What are we doing?
We're here to drink terrible Miller Lite.
Got that neon. You got to get fly. All right, listen. You're gonna come over to Indiana. You're gonna come buy one of these. Buy an overly expensive 4-pack of these, and then take them back with you.
Oh yeah. Now, man, you want to pull up the art?
Yeah, sure. Let's send it.
All right. So these are 2 bog pieces, right?
Yes, sir.
Talk me through them.
Okay, so we'll start with the demon head because that one's kind of interesting. And let me see if I got that boy in here somewhere, because the head is kind of a cheat like cheat code type thing.
Because you did half, right? I think I
Yes,
saw
sir.
the half. Yeah.
Yep. So one of the friends that from that original like had me commission something.
Yeah.
He wanted to do a collaboration picture. He was going to do a traditional samurai on one side, like tattoo style, and he just wanted me to do the other side. So that's what I did. I did like that half, and then crazy story, which I'll get into with that. That was the first piece Bog bought from me.
You use it for a shirt then?
Yeah, for sure. It's on a hoodie. I have the hoodie in there. But my buddy, he was like, dude, he's like, he really liked that half. He's like, have you ever thought about like digitally just flipping it and putting it together? And I was like, that's a good idea. And then I did that, and like the next day, Devin hit me up on the Instagram page, and like that's how it started.
That's crazy, man.
So kind of, if it wasn't for my friend being like, hey, you should like put that together, you know, who knows if that would have even happened.
Because Bog probably helped out with a lot of additional commissions too.
Oh yeah, so one thing, like I love those dudes to death. Like they seriously, they're just good people for one, and like they've really like helped me with getting my stuff out there. But Devin, I remember early on, he was kind of like, because I was telling him about like my work situation.
Yeah.
He's like, well, my goal is to get Tannen off the forklift and drawing. And it's like, yeah, like I texted him the other day. I was like, dude, like I'm literally at that point now. Like I'm actually, this is happening.
That's awesome, man. Seems like a good dude.
He's Dev. If you watch, man, I love you. I love you, motherfuckers.
Are you gonna pull this piece out or what?
I might have to say screw it. I don't know what it's at. I thought like I've got everything. Oh, there it is. There we go.
All right, sick.
So this was with a little bit of color pencil.
That looks good, man.
See, this was one, like, I don't know what the hell I was doing back at this point, but I want to get back to whatever I was doing here.
Well, what do you think's different about what you're doing now versus that?
I think a lot of this is, at least like on a detail level, there's a lot more going on here.
Well, it's bigger. That wolf piece you just showed, you're working
That's
small.
True.
If you want more detail and more components, work bigger.
Yeah, because there's like some like little textures and stuff on here that like, yeah.
I think you're also really maybe thinking a little more about like those teeth look really good, you know, like the way you rendered that in the gums. That's really cool.
I don't even remember what. See, that's what a lot of I don't even like hardly remember what like my brain was thinking doing this shit. Like, I just did it. That's what happened. But this was too like, this was just from the brain. I don't even think I like penciled anything in. I think I was just straight line work.
Well, that's another kind of area of overlap between me and you is like, I kind of cut my teeth learning how to do art and stuff initially from doodling, right? So like you kind of always kept a little bit of that like doodle aspect to your style, you know, and I have traces of it still, but not as much anymore. But like I can relate to you on that. For sure.
I never thought about that. That's actually a good point.
Well, there's something free flowing about it, you know, and it's also just fun to doodle, right?
Yeah. That's like, yeah. I think I've noticed I've got like a hard time focusing on stuff. I think that's where a lot of that comes from, because I just go and like whatever happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's where the free flow kind of thing comes from there.
Well, you definitely don't want to lose that, but finding ways to like tame it can be helpful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, here like a lot of the client artwork stuff I do, I definitely take the time to plan it, because I don't want to jump into something and then it just not be what either they want or I'm digging.
Right.
So
let's talk about the Hand USA tour. It's the Jesus Peace, Sanguisugabogg, and do you remember the other bands?
Peeling Flesh and Gag.
Yeah, that's a killer tour.
It's coming to Ohio. It's the first stop on that tour is Ohio, and I'm fucking going.
Dude, I probably should go, man. So that show is playing in Atlanta the same week as Swans and Ween, which are two like non-metal bands that I love. So like,
yes,
I got some decisions to make, but I probably
personally, you know where I'm going.
I know. You know what? You should hold me accountable. Permission to hold me accountable.
Just go up there and be like, listen, I didn't go to another show for this. Yeah. give me shit. I don't know.
No, man, I'll just get a little bit of sleep deprivation that week. But
sometimes that's the way it's got to be.
Yeah, you're right. So tell me a little bit about the inspiration, and then a little bit about what maybe you like about the piece, or kind of how it all came together. Maybe even the timeline, because I think you told me it was maybe a tight timeline, which is interesting.
I'll just go into the whole story with it.
Yeah.
So this was very recent. I don't remember exactly when, but
like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's super recent. Sed called me and he was like, "Hey, bro," he's like, we've got this tour flyer we need. We're not like real, like we're kind of iffy on the current, like, cause the way it looked, it was the USA, and then there was like a skeleton hand coming out,
right?
Like a Xerox kind of effect thing, and then it had a border, and like they just wanted some changes. So he's like, "Hey, would you be able to like draw something for this?" And with them, I'm like, I'll do whatever. Like they've helped me so much. I'm like, yeah, fuck, I got you. But that was on, I want to say a Wednesday.
Okay.
Was when he called me. And they needed it that next Monday. So he was like, okay, you're going to be working with Jesus Pieces, dude.
The designer?
Yeah. I think his name's Jackson, if I'm not mistaken. Really cool dude. We chit-chatted back and forth to get this. Because we were both like, hitting each other. He's like, "Oh, I think we'll like this." He's like, "I think they'll like it too. I don't know, man." Like, then there's some things like, because there were a few. I actually started, because I've got it right here. I don't know what I did with the other version, but I had another version, and the heads on the fingertips were more like human looking.
You showed me a picture of it. There was more teeth.
Yeah, more teeth, more like just demon head looking stuff. And then like we both kind of agreed. It was like, yeah, I don't know, because he threw in the idea of the sculpture, the hand sculpture. I can't remember the original.
Sed did, or the designer
Jackson. Yeah,
okay.
Designer guy. He was like, "I found this really cool sculpture. I think would be like cool to do, because like again, like it's super, like we had to get this thing done." So I was like, "All right, like yeah, that looks cool. I'd like to do a spin on it. We'll just send that." And but I didn't want to completely just do that. Like that's why I don't like just copying shit.
Right.
So that's why I did like the fingers differently. And then we didn't agree on that. He was like, I think the beaks would be a little bit better. So I was like, all right, we'll just redo it. And then that's how this just kind of came to be. And right here, I actually screwed up really bad.
Hold on.
Let me see.
Yeah, I got you now.
Yeah, you can see it there. So I grafted. What the fuck? Flatten out. There we go. I grafted a piece of paper over the top of it and just drew over it.
Hey man, make it work.
Yeah,
I mean that's the thing, is like, yes, you can sell original art, but like a lot of what we're doing or what you're doing is reproduction,
Yeah, that's something I do want to ask you about, because I've seen people, and we can do it later or talk about it later, but like people I've seen. I know Fred does it a lot.
Yeah.
Like he'll sell the originals, but I don't know how that works because it's like, okay, the person bought the design.
It's for collectors only.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that. I don't know. I'm just skeptical because I feel like sell it and then someone would try to do something with it, and then it's like, who fucking knows? Some legal shit. Door gets kicked down. I get shot. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I guess it's at the scale in which we operate in, it's honor system because no one has money for fucking lawyers in this scene. You know what I mean?
Kinda, yeah, because I messaged him a little bit about it, and that was what he said too.
Yeah, but I mean, dude, like, this isn't fucking name dropping, right? So I got one of your originals here, which you were kind enough to give me. I got an Ian Miller original here. I got a Shoggoth Kinetics original. I got 2 Riddick originals. I'm not fucking using those.
Start a band and use them.
I'll just make my own shit. But I guess like, it's just collectors, man. You know?
Yeah.
It's a collector's market. And like, I don't know. I would say, because I saw how you sent this, you do have to, like, if you're gonna sell originals, you have to be aware of, like, I don't know, like, don't have a bunch of like weird ink things like in the corner or something.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta do a little bit of craftsmanship for like.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, if it was something like that.
But I mean, yeah, dude, it's another way to make additional money, you know.
Well, with the car situation, I got a box of them here. I'm gonna probably sell some of them, and I need to get some funds.
Yeah. Give it a shot, and I'd also say, like, if people aren't biting at first, don't be discouraged either. You know, it's not easy to sell originals, man. Like, people of extremely high skill level have trouble selling originals, just because it's the nature of the beast, man. And like, think about it too. Like, not everyone who has a house wants to have metal art all over the place, right?
Well, those people are wrong, man.
I agree with you. I'm just being realistic. For me, man, I got my house covered in this shit, dude. It's what I live for.
See, I need more of that. I've got some like posters and flags around here, but
I saw a leprosy flag.
Yeah, leprosy
poster.
Yeah, I've got a giant Bathory self-titled one over here.
Nice.
And then my buddy's band Mouth for War I've got over here. But
it's good to be around inspiration, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm talking too much, man. This is your interview, not mine.
Yeah, dude, what the fuck, man?
Let's go to the next one. Oh, do you have anything more on the one on the right? How do you do the backgrounds? I'm curious about that. Like, how did you come up with that?
So with that, because I don't like to just post them without, I don't know. I don't like just having a pure white background if it's like a graphic.
Right.
I just try to dress it up a little bit. So like what I did there was I just, I took like a yellow and then I took their logos and kind of like.
Oh yeah, you're right. Because it's a Jesus piece with the red. Yeah.
Yeah, and just kind of like, I was just playing there. I was kind of bored. Like I was in an in-between spot where I wanted to take a break from like drawing.
Yeah. And
I was getting that like transferred over into Photoshop, and I was kind of in a just little bored session. So I just did some random stuff, did like a Xerox thing there, and yeah.
Nice.
Just to give it a background. I do that with quite a few of the more graphic kind of T design stuff.
It's a nice touch. You know, I just realized I didn't put in the slide deck, but that piece you did that was like it was like King Ghidorah, or like it was like a dragon.
Oh,
you put some shit behind. You put like lightning and stuff, but that drawing I really like of yours.
That one, thank you. That one did was really popular. Like a lot of people seem to like that one.
Dude, people like dragons, man.
Yeah, well, there for a while, I was like, man, I really want to draw dragons. I think I even was like, if you commission a dragon from me, fucking, I'll cut you a little deal. Just because I wanted to do them, and that wasn't even for a band. That was for, what was his name? Damn. He because he wanted to do the because that's actually from. If it's the more serpent looking one. Is that the one you're talking about?
I think so, yeah.
That one, so there's a video game called Sekiro.
Okay.
It's the Dark Souls people thing. But there's a boss called the Divine Dragon, and it's a big serpenty kind of traditional looking dragon, and he just wanted like an evil version of that. So that's what that is.
That's cool. Yeah, that piece was sick.
Yeah, I really liked doing it. It was a fun one to do.
Well, we got quite a bit of slides. I forgot that we have like 12 of these. But this was an early Sanguisugabogg piece, right?
Yes, sir. That was one because like normally I try not to, or I just don't draw things that how am I trying to say that? Like just draw pre-existing stuff.
Right.
Like,
Drawing other people's intellectual property.
yeah. I don't know why. Maybe I just was like binge watching The Thing. I don't know. That's another inspiration, stuff like that. There's movies too, not just video games. But yeah, for some reason I wanted to draw the dog kennel thing, and yeah, cranked that out, and I had it. I just had it on the side, and when Devin bought the demon head thing, we were talking a little bit, and I mentioned because I knew he was into Carpenter. I was like, yeah, I've got this like thing inspired one, and he was just like, fuck it, we'll buy that too. He's like, how much you want? I was like, really? So yeah, that and the demon head were at the same time. Like they got both of those.
Nice.
And then I gave them the original to that one, so I don't have it anymore. Because I seen he was like, yeah, we'll just give you the merch. Like you can have them because that's what they had. It was the Acacia Strain show. It was one that the dude got kicked in the face. That was when they printed those two designs. And yeah, I don't know. I was really like happy and thankful for it. So I was like, dude, just have this.
Yeah, for sure.
And they gave me a hoodie and the shirt, and yeah.
That's
I
really
felt
kind.
like that was like one of the like a way I could tell them thank you.
Hey man, I think it's well deserved. I mean, if it's helped you out with your life situation and it's just one drawing at the end of the day.
Yeah. I don't know what they did with it. They probably fucking used it as blunt paper or something. I don't know.
What was I gonna say? Fuck, forgetting. Oh well, I thought it was interesting. So you're mainly working with Devin, but then Sed called you for the tour poster need. So like, do you interact with all the band members regularly, or how's that work?
Mainly Sed and Devin.
Okay.
So Sed, all right. So backing up a little bit, Sed is from Indiana.
Okay.
And he used to play, like he played around here a lot. He was in a band called Cermos. Awesome band. I don't really know how I would describe their music. I wouldn't really say it's death metal.
Was it hardcore? I think he comes from that scene, doesn't he?
It wasn't really hardcore. If I remember, I'll send you the a link.
Well, I'll just I'll listen.
But like that was one of the first one of the first shows I ever went to. It was in a garage, and that they played that show, and I just remember being like, "Holy shit! Like this is fucking awesome."
Garage show, man. That's sick.
Garage. Everybody piled into a garage. Yeah.
The cops get called?
Nah.
No, man, that's nice.
Nah. It was who the fuck was that? It was a friend of a friend's girlfriend's parents' house. They let us use the garage, or let them use the garage. So so my friend Trey, his band Bruise, back when they were around, they played in that too. So like that was like 2016, I think.
Yeah.
2017 maybe. That's forever ago. That was the extremely depressed Tannen era. But but Sed, like I never really I had him on social media, but like we never really talked much.
Mm-hmm.
And then after like that, we started talking more often and stuff. And at this point, like we check in on each other and shit.
Sick.
So, yeah, Cody, I know him. Like I've spoken to him a little bit. I've done some. So whenever volcano or like putrid stew hits me up,
Right.
it's Cody that hits me up for that stuff.
That makes sense.
And then Drew, I talked to Drew a little bit. Drew's pretty cool.
He
got
seems
cats.
nice and chill.
He's a cat person. I'm a cat person.
How many? Do you have one cat, two cats? What do you got?
I got two of them. One of them's right here in his little cat. That might be the girl. Hold on. Yeah, it's the girl. She's in the cat tree.
I got a cat and a dog.
I love animals, man. I'm a huge.
Same.
Yeah, I don't know. That's something about coming home and having these little fuckers here.
Yeah, it gives you joy, man.
Yeah. But back to the art. I've just from working with them just kind of developed a good relationship, like with them.
Oh,
We're
that's
engaged.
cool,
We're engaged.
Oh, nice.
I married one of them.
So is that your kid too? Does he have a baby?
Yes, that's my child.
Yeah.
We made this elaborate ploy that it's his girlfriend's. But where's I going with that?
Well, it's just to me, it's unique that you have 2 points of contact that are both talking about art. Really, three. A lot of times, it's the one person you're dealing with. That's based on all the conversations I've had. That's the more common instance.
Well, like anytime I work with Undeath, it's always like, I don't know who I'm pretty sure it's Alex, but I don't know who it is I talk to.
Well, because they just message you from the band Instagram or something.
The band page, yeah.
Yeah. Well, their drummer is the one who does the album art.
Yes, right? Matt.
So maybe it might be him.
I know he has a personal page. It's like Houses something.
Oh, I should follow him. Yeah.
I'll have to find it. It's like Houses 1 2 something. And like he'll post art, like taking commissions and stuff, but like I don't know. Like I feel like he needs to make like a deliberate art page because that shit would be like he does some killer work.
Yeah, well, I'll have him on the show and I'll pressure him. How about
there
that?
There you go. I pressured Vinny from Phobophilic to make a page.
Nice. Yeah, he seems like a cool dude too.
He's all. I met him. It was Jarhead, Phobophilic.
Oh, I missed that tour. That was right on Christmas time.
Yeah. That Black Circle. Seriously, like for Indiana, Black Circle has been like keeping it going. But they came through and I got talking to him. He's a really nice dude. Really sick. Cool dude. But anyway, fucking this piece, the thing is right there. So that was when like I didn't really know what I was doing coloring wise.
Yeah.
So like there's that, like looking at it now, people seem to like it, but all I see are issues with it when I look at it.
Well, I think maybe people like the thing a lot, so you're going off that. I mean, I think your newer stuff's better too. I agree.
It's like the stroke effect because I put that green stroke effect on it. There's like little artifacts off the tentacle and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, I can make it bigger and rub it in your face more if you want.
You could. It just looks so bad. This fucking moribund guy who eats trash. How do you even?
No, I mean, like objectively, your hand on the right there, your more recent piece, it is stronger. Like you've gotten better, man. So,
thank you. I really
that's the most important thing. I don't like looking at my old shit either. So it's a natural thing.
Yeah, as long as I'm improving, that's because like that's something I kind of mentioned too. Because when I talked to Devin about when they bought those designs, he was like, you want to do the single artwork for the new album? I was like, yeah. So I did. I seen it a second ago. We did. This isn't the one I was going to grab, but we did. So like face ripped off, necrosexual deviant,
right?
Fiending for bloodshed and pissed. Oh wow. Yeah, you want to buy this original, dude? It's all
The
like
hell
bent,
is that?
it's all bent up. This is face ripped off.
Okay, nice.
It's hard to kind of
Oh
see.
my god, dude, you gotta take better care of your shit.
It's just been in this box. Okay, so the newer stuff is definitely better taken care of.
Okay.
That one kind of got unfortunately thrown somewhere. Oh, here's that, and then here's Necrosexual, which this was one I looked back at and I was like, this looks like like the techniques now just have improved so much.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much different.
There's a little bit of Berserk there with like the two head kind of looking thing.
Yeah, I can see that. I get what's that Autopsy record? Damn it.
Yeah, there's a lot
Mental
of them.
Funeral? Is that
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
That one. A lot of people say that my stuff looks like that cover, which was crazy because I had not seen that cover until someone mentioned it, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
Well, it's just like a chaotic creature, you know.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Faces hanging off of it and stuff. Like, I had enough.
But that motif of like a multi-faced creature has been around since like the Dark Ages, man.
I made it up. That was me.
Oh my god. All right, what do we got next? We got 10 more of these, dude. All right, so
That one.
tell me about this bad boy.
So, as I mentioned earlier, I have a hard time focusing. So, for the longest time, I would start a picture, work on it for like a couple hours. Next day would come, start something new because I wasn't interested in doing the other one anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, at a certain point, I was like, I have all these unfinished pieces of paper. You're going to sit your happy ass down and you're going to fill out an entire page. And so I was like, all right, that's what I did. I made myself fill out the entire page. That's a big page. I've got it down here. It took me, it was on and off working on it. So I don't know how much like total hours were in it, but it took me like half the year to get that done. Where's that?
I bet you'd be quite a bit faster nowadays, though.
I think so too. I feel like it would be quicker now. I think this is a.
It is pretty big, though.
I want to say it's like 17 by 12, something like that. 17 by 12, I want to say. It's a big boy.
Yeah.
Even here, I started losing focus, and so up towards the top, I just started putting eyeballs. And we're going to throw eyeballs up there. But this is one of my personal favorites that I've made. Just because how much time's in it. I did that September 7th of 21. I even dated it down here.
Yeah, I mean, that's really not that long ago, man.
Yeah, this is the one that a lot of people say is berserky.
Yeah, I could see it. And we got some progress shots here on the right, too.
Yeah, that's another thing. Absolutely none of that was, like, penciled in. That was just
straight to the pen, huh?
Yeah, just going ham. Whatever happens, happens.
Are you using microns mainly, or what's your...
Microns, which I kind of want to get away from them, because I've heard there's other brands that... My problem is, because I like to use, like, the 1 and, like, the 0.05 or 0.05, the small one.
Yeah.
I always mess them up.
Yep.
I always end up bending the tip or something, or it seems like they don't last very long. Fred put me on to 1. I haven't used it yet, though.
I think he likes the shit with... Is it Faber-Castells?
I think that was it.
Yeah, those are nice. Yeah, like having some brush pens in combination with the microns is a good idea.
Stadler.
Oh, Stadler. Okay,
that one. That's the one he recommended.
Let me. Can you show it again? I use Stadler pencils. Okay.
There you go.
Cool.
Yeah, that's the small one. Yeah, I haven't quite used it yet, but I heard you mention brushes, though. I have a couple of those.
Or
I played,
brush pens, man. Like
yeah,
they kind of get the best of both worlds.
I played a little bit with it on just kind of messing around. I liked them, so I kind of want to use them more. Try something new.
Well, it's just varying line weights is like something that you could like try to implement more. You know that's pretty
Exact.
helpful.
That's a recent one. I've been trying to again, Brad. The
Yeah,
Brad Moore man, he's the god, the God man. He's the Messiah. But I'm pretty sure he mentioned that something about like different line weights, because the one we'll get into that's colored, the succubus one.
right.
My brain didn't know what line weights were, or like that things in the distance need to be like less detailed than up.
Right.
So it just looks like it's a one-dimensional. Yeah,
That might be next. I don't remember the order.
that's the fun part. We don't know.
Well, here's the colored version.
Yeah. Jesus. Did that in Photoshop.
Okay, cool.
So what I do with that is I don't have a scanner, so I just go into a really well lit area, and we just take a picture of it. Get
That's
the
how
best
that's what a lot of people do. Yeah.
Really? Okay, I figured.
Well, you do
I
it for
would.
paintings sometimes because it's hard to scan a painting. Sometimes,
Okay.
I mean, a lot of people do scan them as well, but there's kind of multiple approaches.
Okay. So far it's been fine. Like I've not really had an issue just doing it that way.
Yeah.
But I'll do that, and then once I get it into Photoshop, I've got a way like to separate the line art, and then I'll just make a new layer under it in color, and that's how we get that. That's how we color.
Yeah. With the color on this one helps out with readability for sure.
Yes, that's a thing I get a lot. Again, like I told you, like the negative space people are like, it just looks like a blob of random stuff. But every time I color it, people are like, okay, now I see what you got going there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you make an interesting shape out of the blob too, like that's also interesting as well. So
Yeah, I've really been trying to be conscious of that.
all right, so this is the inoculation piece. We got black and white on the right, colored on the left. This is a shirt design, right?
Yes, sir. A long sleeve.
Cool.
Charlie from the band. That's the sleeve design that went with that.
Mm-hmm.
He got it tattooed on his leg.
Oh, damn.
That was cool to me. That one, I want to. How did he bring it up? So I can't remember if it was Nick or Charlie that messaged me. It was one of them. I want to say Nick messaged me, and he was like, "We have a song about." What did he say it was? Basically, like a space station with like cryopods, and then something gets in, infests it. So like the people in the pods are mutating and like fighting each other, like just all ripping each other apart. So he wanted like the cryopods, mutants, just that sort of thing going on. So yeah, that's what we did. We got the little mutant guy there. He's ripping. He's got one he's ripping in half. Which something with this too. So I've got like my little demon head thing. Like I use as kind of my logo.
Right.
I try to. I don't think it really comes off very well, but I try to incorporate it into like a lot of the stuff I do. So if you look close at the little dude in the center, his head has the features of the little demon head thing that I use.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I wanted it to have some sort of like border. That way it like was kind of like capsulated there, kind of framed in.
Right.
So like
Totally.
you got the cryopod on the left, which the thing that's like definitely like Dead Space and the Thing inspired. The one that's like got the person up in the air one of its arms is hitting the lever on that cryopod, which dropped that person that's like halfway mutated. And then on the bottom right, there's a security guard that like got molded to the wall with like biomass and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, that one was I had a lot of fun with that one.
I think it's just, I mean, because I can only see it really well from a distance. I guess I could go full screen here. That actually helped out a lot. But like at the core of it, with like a shirt design, you are looking at it from a distance in most cases. So it's how does the shape capture my attention? You know what I mean? So like once again, the negative space here between the border and the arm going up, you know, and like those smaller lines with the kind of tree-like branches, kind of middle left, like those are like appealing to my eye. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Like that's how I interpret it, because I'm always thinking about shapes before I'm thinking about details. You know what I mean?
Okay. See, that's something I just never thought of. Like, I just draw the stuff and then, like you're saying, seeing it on a shirt, it has to be visible. That way you can tell what it is.
Yeah. And like it's just, once again, negative space, things like that. But yeah, I mean, I really like this design. I think it's really cool.
That's one of my personal favorites.
The way you did the coloring too is like, I mean, it's much more developed than the dog thing from earlier. You know what I mean? Like the color scheme's stronger.
With that one, they because it was being printed, they wanted like 7 colors or less. So I had to get creative with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing I forgot to mention. So like, it made me approach the coloring differently. So like I had the base of that kind of like darkish green color,
and
then would put the other colors over it, like in this weird way. But it turned out awesome. Like it worked perfectly. And so like now that I carry that over into other like more modern stuff that I've colored. It's weird. Like I'll just do something either by accident, and then it completely changes the way I do it. Moving on.
Yeah, well, I can relate to that, man.
There was one. That wolf one we were just looking at, like that happened with that one. The way I was rendering the ground, I just started doing something different with like the stippling. I was like, that looks good. And it just neuron pathways fucking found each other, and then now we're.
Well, I had a moment kind of like that yesterday with this thing. So like, I don't know if I can go to. So these little vine things. Let me go solo. I'm messing with you. I wasn't thinking. These vine things.
Okay.
What I did was, so I originally had the line both on top and bottom fairly thick. Okay. And what I was like is, it looks kind of flat. So what I did was I took this and I did a stipple along the top line, and now it looks almost more like a tentacle, because if you think about an octopus's tentacle, it has the suction cups, right? Yeah. So the little white dots had that effect. And like this is like something very minute that like I really am probably gonna give a shit about. But like I was like, man, that like when it works, it feels like magic. You know what I mean? So I kind of had one of those moments last night that I was excited about. And it's a very trivial thing at the end of the day, but it made me realize like, yeah, if you have the line too thick on both sides, it looks flat and graphic, and I wanted something more alive.
Yeah, that's good. I'll write that down. I'm stealing that. I'm stealing that from you, bud.
Go for it, man. All right. Oh, progress shots. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one to...
I can see the security guard now at the bottom right corner. That's his gun, and
he gets kind of lost when you when I started adding everything.
Yeah,
but that's where because I'm pretty sure I misread what they had said. I thought he said like the people were turning into pods, and then so I started making the security guard like as like a pod thing that was like attached to the wall,
right?
And then, like, before I got too far into it, I was like, hey, wait a minute. But, like, it ended up being cool, and it, like, added to the the border part.
Right.
He's attached to a. It's hard to see it, but it's like a security locker. He's like attached to it.
Okay.
And it's like the biomass is like infested him and shit. If I don't know if I can mention that because YouTube, the S word. You
Yes.
mentioned that. Yeah, he did that.
Okay.
If you look close, but YouTube, you didn't hear that. You didn't see none. You don't even know what I'm talking about.
You just, I think it's people say undo yourself or something.
He control alt delete or he yeah.
That's what he did.
Chat.
Oh man. All right, internal bleeding. Very cool commission.
This was like one of my favorite things from last year. I love Internal Bleeding. That's like one of my favorite bands.
Yeah.
And
totally.
so, yeah, that was one because I seen them. It was the Homicidal Ecstasy release, like little tour Bog did. So they headlined. Internal Bleeding, I think, may have been on before them. There was Year of the Knife, Vomit Forth, and then that particular show, Flesher opened, which is an Indianapolis band that's really sick.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, hell yeah. Glad to hear that you know of them. But at that show, fucking one of my buddies during Internal Bleeding set got thrown head first into a table, split his shit open. And like at that point, like I had been recording a little bits and pieces of the show. You know, like, I just threw it up on the story. Because mainly I was like excited to see Internal Bleeding. Did that. Internal Bleeding followed the page. I was like, oh shit. I was, you know, like the kind of just like, oh. And then like nothing happened for a while, and then Ryan, which is the bassist, hit me up, and he was like, hey, like, I want you to do art for Internal Bleeding. And I was like, no way.
Sick.
I was like, no way. But he was like, because he had to like talk to the other members. And I guess they had a shirt design that they needed for, it was Hatebreed, Suffocation, them, and then I can't remember the other band. But it was like a big show thing, and they needed a shirt design for it. He was like, it's like, I showed them your stuff. They're between you and this other artist. He's like, I know it's risky, but if you could like just do something. Like, he's like, I like the way you do your logos, like drawing inside of the logos. He's like,
right,
do that and like send it. You know, he's like, I'm pretty sure that they would do it. So I was like, fuck. I was like,
competitive.
What? Yeah, that's the first time. I've never had to do that. I was like, shit. And I was like, you know, like, I could do this all for nothing, but what I did was the which it's down here somewhere. If I can find it, the logo. Actually, it's right here. 6.
Nice.
Yeah. So what I did, the way I did this, I went in Photoshop, took their logo, and made the line really, really light, just so I made sure I had the exact proportions with it.
Right.
And then there's a fella at work. I emailed it to him and had him print it off, and like the printer at work can do like these bigger pieces of paper. So he did that. I like had him print off a couple of them, and then I came home and like busted this out and got it done. Sent it to Ryan, and then he showed it to him, and he's like, "Yeah, they're gonna have you do the design." I was like, I was at work. I remember
So you did the circular thing after you did the logo.
That was later. Because I talked to Chris Pervelis for that. He's like the OG member. I don't know if you're a big IB fan.
I like the band, but I don't know any of the members.
Well, you should fucking find out, dude. But I was at work when I got a lot of this shit happened. By the way, like I wanted to mention this because like I'd be at work just like not having a good time, and then like I'd get a notification on my phone, and like this was one of those instances. Like it was from him, and he was like, "Yeah, like we're gonna go with you for the design." I was just like, "Yeah!" Like in the middle of work.
Nice.
But so that design, I didn't really know what to do because Chris was just kind of like, just do us a design. He didn't really have a whole lot of input. I was like, damn. So I was like, well, and this is something I do with bands a lot too. I'll go through and find things like either themes or whatnot from like just from the band, like maybe the way that they do their merch or stuff like that. But what I did, like I already was a fan of IB, so like I took the Voracious Contempt dude,
Right.
which is that one with the revolver.
Right.
I have him in the like down there on the bottom, and then the like skull heads. If you know what Alien Breed is, it's like the compilation album they have.
It has like. That's why I
little,
recognized it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got like the little skull heads with like it looks like a little alien thing. So that's what that is. It's killing or like doing shit to the Voracious Contempt guy. And then if you look over there directly to the left, the one skull is like has like a something like tentacle shooting into the corrupting influence dude's head.
Okay.
So like, I just basically took different things from the different album covers and worked them into the design. And then if you look kind of, what would that be? The like 10, 11 o'clock. Mm-hmm. I put my little demon head dude in there. I worked him in.
Oh yeah, I think I see him. Nice.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that one. That was one of my like, I don't know. I was very, very stoked to do that one.
You get a shirt of that?
Yes, I do. It's in there somewhere, but yeah. Nice. I felt this is another thing too, sometimes I feel like I pester bands. And like that was one like because he's like, yeah, I'll send you the shirt, and then it took he just didn't. I was like, hey man, that shirt, man, and he's like, I got you, and then it never came.
You had to follow up again.
I was like, man, I ain't trying to bug you, man. Listen, like I will give you money. I don't care. Like it's never like a free thing. I'll give you money. Can I get the shirt, please?
Because it wasn't on their web store or something?
No. It's on Night Shift now, though. They have like a variant of it, yeah. Which, I don't know if I can say that.
Well, you could talk about anything off air with me if you want.
I'll just say there's another design for these boys coming.
Okay, sick.
Really, really stoked about. But that's all I'm going to say.
Nice. Let's keep on trucking.
Keep on trucking. Oh, yeah, Cupcake the Pitbull.
So tell me about this one.
This is for a band called Fleshgate.
Okay.
They're pretty dope. Where are they? I don't want to mess up where they're from. I have the phone here. I can't look. Ah, shit.
Fleshgate, right? That's what you said?
Yeah, Fleshgate. I'll pull it up right here. Because I just recently redid their logo, too. South Carolina. That's where they're from.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just like dummy beat down stuff. But they, he's like, we have a song called Cupcake the Pitbull. And like, we just, we want like trailer, the vibe.
Right.
Typical Pitbull vibe. Me, I grew up in a trailer park. I know all about that. Like, we had a Pitbull that attacked me. So like I had all the knowledge that was needed for this project. So I was like, hell yeah, let's run it. And so I just took all of my trailer trash bloodline and threw it into this picture.
Yeah, nice. It's very convincing, man. Nice work.
I
love the blinds all crooked and shit, like those details are cool.
Yeah, that was so well, I mean, if I turned my camera, you would probably see a similar sight.
What's the saying? You could take the trash out of the trailer or whatever.
Yeah, can't. Man, it's in my blood.
Anything else about the design? I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, this one I tried to really focus on like the perspective of it, I guess. Cause you can see it's like canted off that way. So like I wanted to make it get like the light source up here but then it goes back, and then trailers usually have that like little like motion light on the side. So I have it there. Then you can see an AC unit because you live in a trailer. You got an AC unit hanging out the window. It's just how it works. There's like trash bags back there and shit. So I just wanted to get it all there.
Yeah, no, that's nice, man. Good piece. Like the texture you have on the the siding and stuff is really cool.
Yeah, I think I spent more time on the trailer than the actual like dog.
Yeah, makes
dog
sense.
and guy getting.
Very cool, man. Well, and I like also if you look at the roof part, there's like kind of a patina on the colored version that you did a really good job with.
That's well, like the trailer park I lived in. I'm really throwing myself out there. I ran from the trailer parks, but there's always that fucking trailer that like looks like that. It's got like nasty shit coming down the side of it, and
yeah,
there's always there. It smells bad. Yeah, that's that trailer.
It's inspiration.
Inspiration from the heart. That came directly from here. Experience.
Nice, man. What was the band for this one?
Coagula or I might have messed. I don't know that word. I think it's coagula.
Coagula.
I think that's Florida.
You got the Gators.
The Gators. I don't. So this is their EP cover. They released it, and I need to check in on them again, see, because I remember them teasing it, but I don't remember it coming out. So I need to check in on that. But that one, there's a funny story behind that one too, and I hopefully won't spend 2 hours down here looking for it because I literally just had it up top. That was one of the cases. Here it is. Nope, that ain't it. Your boy messed up.
This is going to be the thumbnail. It's just you bent over finding art. I'm just going to crop that out.
Oh, shit. Well, basically, all right, so the, where the fuck? I tried Prismacolor.
Okay.
Because, like, people were like, yeah, those are awesome. And I didn't know that it was, like, a different, like, more oil-based type thing. I'm not going to be able to find it, but...
it's kind of waxy.
Yeah, waxy. So, with the one I did, the other one that we'll get to, it was... I don't know, I was able to go over the black lines with it.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't mess them up. I broke out the Prismacolors on this one, just messed it up. And I was upset. But I had gotten quite a bit. Before I did that, I did a save point. I already took my scan picture.
Right.
For this reason.
Which isn't a scan.
Huh?
I said, which isn't a scan. It's just a picture.
It's a scan, dude. But I literally like a save point. I got the lines because I didn't know what the colored pencils would do.
Yeah, it's smart.
So did it, screwed it up. But I had like a good color. Like the colors were good. So what I did is I took another picture and then took that, took the line work that I had, took the colors from that other one and like put them on top of each other and then just colored the rest of it digitally.
Nice. That makes sense. Yeah, man, it covers up ink lines. You would need to go right around and if you wanted to achieve that effect.
Yeah, that's what like I want to do. I've heard kind of watercolor doesn't. I don't know. I feel like
it just depends on what ink you're using. But yeah, dude, watercolor, I'm telling you, I love it. I'm just saying, like,
the Copic markers. That was
yeah, you won't have issue with Copic markers for that. Watercolor is just like you're kind of opening. There's a bit of a learning curve. Like, I mean, I can help you out, but like the other thing too is you can't use watercolor, or I highly advise not using it on Bristol board, which is what you're typically using, right?
Yeah.
dude, it'll warp the shit out of it. Copic markers will work well in Bristol. So you have the smooth surface you're already used to. That's another reason.
Sick. All right, yeah, I'm gonna probably do some looking.
Yeah, I can help you out too. Like, because the thing with Copic markers is like they are kind of expensive, and there's so many colors. You just need to know what you want to achieve. Like, there's some people that all they use is the gray ones, which sometimes I'll use that. So you're not getting colored. What you're doing is you're getting different value ranges because you can basically shade with them.
Bring it. I did that with that inoculation one.
Right. So like those are nice.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I didn't know that was an option.
Well, I don't know how well it prints. I just am worried about whatever's right in front of me, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, screen printing I don't think would work well with it.
Some of that, I don't know how people do this screen print. My buddies, they've like went down that route.
Yeah.
Some too. Nightmare. He does screen printing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I thought about trying it too. But yeah, I've watched them doing it in their garage. Hell no, not for me. I'll just nope. Like they're getting to like doing multiple color stuff, and I can see the not funness of that. So
yeah, that's not something I want to get into. So this is a recent piece, right?
Yeah, very recent. Let's take a look. Probably like a week or two, I'd say, right?
Yeah, it hasn't been long.
Yeah, the 18th. So yeah, this is for. Oh, damn it. I don't know if I want to say because they haven't released it yet.
Oh, you don't have to mention the band yet, but it's a shirt design, right?
Yeah. Well, no, it's a single artwork.
Oh, single artwork. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They make a good shirt.
That was
orientation.
We wanted to have like the duality of that, be able to print it on a shirt and it just be single art too. Damn it, I want to say more, but he pretty much told me not to. He told me to keep it on the DL.
Okay, well, I know how band members are. It's all good.
Yeah.
A lot of cool textures with this one. Strong silhouette. I mean, I think I like how the scythe kind of like frames things. Like it kind of cuts it off, so it's a good design choice.
Yeah,
I like it, man.
Thank you. Yeah, I really tapped into like the old like back in school kind of stuff I used to do with this one because, like I said, huge Dark Souls nerd. So I like doing I used to do a lot of the dark fantasy kind of stuff, and I had a way of doing that with like the cloak textures and chainmail and stuff like that. So I went back to it for this.
Nice.
What we did, we got back. But yeah, I really like the way it turned out too.
That horse looks evil as shit.
Yeah, the horse. That was one thing. It doesn't. Okay, so when you look at it, does it look right? Like, does the proportion wise, placement wise? That's something
are you like it? It depends on what you're trying to go for, man. So like anatomy wise, like a horse would be bigger than the rider, and the head would be bigger. But like, I mean, it looks cool. I guess now that you mention it, now I fucking hate it. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. I probably, if I were to do it again, I'd probably make the head bigger. But at the same time, you don't want to attract too much attention to it.
Yeah. Anybody watching, you didn't hear none of that. That's all bullshit. That horse is perfectly it's correct. It's good.
I mean, that's the other thing too, is like, if you start trying to draw more realistically, you're probably going to have like kind of an awkward growing pains phase because you're going to have elements of what you're doing now and elements of that are more conventional. That's why it's like, there's some things like art fundamental wise that I think you can keep developing that won't sacrifice that. But I don't know, man. But the other time, dude, I also am annoyed. You don't come across this way at all, but dude, when artists who are, and I don't mean to come across like fucking holier than thou, man, but like, because I used to do it too. But if an artist is like, they're falling short, and then every single time that they're falling short, they're just like, oh, it's my style. It's like, no, your style isn't to draw poorly drawn hands. That's just, it's like something you should work on. You know what I mean? It's like, that's like a stupid pet peeve that I have too, that I think hinders maybe other people's development and my own, because I see myself in that. I used to be more that way. And it was all in here. I wasn't like really vocal about it. I have a filter, but you have to catch yourself too when it's like, you can't just say it's my style. It's my style every time, you have something that you can improve on. So it's a fine balance, man.
Yeah. See, that with me, that's like, I don't like, if there's something like that, like hands
right,
or whatever, like I want to figure that out. Like
and that's the right attitude,
Yeah, I don't get it. Like I just ain't built that way. I guess I don't. If there's a problem, I'm not going to just chalk it off like that's just the way I do things, buddy. I don't know.
No, that's good, man. It's very good. Let's keep on trucking.
Yeah.
So this is that piece we've been talking about a couple of times, the older piece. Yeah, dude, I think it has depth to it. You were talking that you think the line weights aren't the same. I mean, it definitely, like, your eye there's a foreground and a background to me. See, I don't see it as a problem.
Okay, good. Yeah, well, because there's like, and I'm doing it with that wolf one I'm doing now too, but there's like 3 different. So you've got like the background, there's like the middle plane, and then there's the up front. So like the succubus and the dudes are up close, and then there's like a field, which I don't know if you can see. There's like kind of like a hill with a hole in it. Like that's like kind of the middle section. Then there's that big castle in the back.
Oh yeah, well, yes, the middle part that you're talking about reads right up close to the front.
Yeah.
So I don't see foreground, midground, background. I see foreground and background, frankly.
Yeah. See, I was trying to have like 3 different things when I was doing.
But it still looks cool. Like,
yeah, I like it at the end of the day. I think that's another thing. Like, I don't remember how I did it, but the way I used the colored pencils there, like, went perfectly.
Yeah. I like how stringy, like, the background. And you also have a complementary color scheme. So when you use orange and yellows contrasted with like purples and blues and kind of reds, you have that really nice complementary color scheme. Okay. So it's just like, it's immediately attractive to the eye. So you did it without probably realizing it, but it's really nice, man.
No, dude, I knew that the whole time. I am very much.
It's an instinctive thing, man. I mean,
happy little accident. Oh shit!
All right.
Yeah. Oh, I was going. Oh.
No, go ahead.
No. I was just gonna touch. That was another one that was the third shift Great Depression era. I forget what I was going through something when I drew that.
Did a woman steal your heart?
Yeah. There's a few that like I remember like had, because that's one thing I want to get back to. I feel like a lot of the commission work I've been doing, it just doesn't like there's a little bit of it in there, but like I don't know. There was just some I used to do that like had some like heart to it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, there's like more personal expression to
them. There you go.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. For me, it's, I don't know. My art is a personal expression in the sense that there's a lot of energy that goes into creating it, but it's not like it always has like some profound meaning for me, like pretty much with any of my pieces. You know what I mean? I just think it aesthetically looks cool, or it's capturing the vibe I want. So
yeah.
But maybe that's because I haven't had enough trauma in my life. You know what I mean? There could be a little element of that. So
yeah, dude, I think you just need to get more trauma, buddy.
Yeah, well, after this conversation, maybe I'll be fueled. I'm just fucking with you. All right. I think this is the last one. Which this is probably, I think this is my favorite thing you've done personally.
Really?
Yeah, I love this, man.
Yeah, that was for Thraw. Yeah, they hit me up and was like, we want a Death Rider, but instead of like a horse, like something cool. It was like, man, like horses get used all the time. Like, we just want something different. And I think they suggested the centipede thing.
Yeah. It was like little arms, it's cool.
Yeah. Well, so I don't know if it comes across. So that I had a little backstory with him. I was having fun with it. So like you got the centipede thing, you got the like Lich King thing riding it. There's that face on the front. That face is not its actual face.
Okay.
That like whatever this universe is, there was some sort of like demigod being, and it ate its way through, and then just that face just kind of got left on its body. So that was my little moribund canon lore to this picture. But yeah, and then it's in the front. The two heads are like fighting over like a knight.
Well, I like the like kind of pale blue, gray, almost purplish tone. Like the thing is, like your color choices here are like they're more muted in a good way.
Okay.
They're not like screaming at you. They're supporting the drawing. So like I really like the color choices you landed on. The red of the blood pops out more too, which is nice.
Yeah,
and the way you drew the centipede head things is really cool. Like they're kind of like skull centipedes. Really
yeah.
neat.
Yeah, this one I really tried to hone in on, especially with color. I think I spent a lot more than usual with my time coloring this one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice, man.
Doing little shadings and whatnot.
Well, yeah, and it has a little better sense of lighting too.
Yeah, yeah, that was something I was trying to like wherever the light source. I tried to. I don't know if it comes across, but like the Lich guy has like a little medallion that's like glowing green.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to like make it look like it was illuminating just that little area.
I can see it, yeah, because it's hitting right around the chest, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Oh, that's strong, man. Anything else in this one?
Not really, no.
Sweet, dude.
It was a fun one though. I do like that one.
Oh yeah. Well, as we wrap up, I got a question I ask every guest because everyone has a different answer. But like, what would be one piece of advice you would have for somebody who wants to create art in music or metal scene?
Do it. Just like if you do artwork, you're drawing it. Either make you a little account or something and just start posting it and do it often. Because like every time you draw, you'll improve a little bit. That's something for sure I've noticed doing it. Like maybe that kind of ties into like how it's gotten where it's at. Just going through school, like that little practice shit, getting up there. Plus, going to shows, that's the thing too. If you're
network at shows.
Just going to shows. People see your stuff, and yeah, you'll just get going there.
Nice, man.
I wouldn't really worry too much about like trying to appeal to bands. I just do it. Do what you want to do, and put it out there. I think that's. Yeah, I feel like that would be my advice.
Just do it.
Just do
fucking
it.
Nike over here.
Yeah, just do it. Yeah.
Nah, man, I'm with you, man. A lot of people come up with excuses. Just do it.
Yeah, just do it. Don't be afraid of what people say or that's your art. Put it out there.
Sweet. For everybody watching, appreciate you guys tuning in. Please check out Moribund Art on Instagram. If you're a band interested in commissioning him, I'm sure he'll have a conversation, and perhaps we'll be selling some originals in the future. If you guys don't mind liking, subscribing to the channel, it helps out a ton. And new episodes every week, most often on Thursdays. Until next time, see you guys. Moribund, you can stay behind for a minute. Adios.